motivation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Good Health by Claudia podcast with me, Denny Schaffer, a production of Denny Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very excited because today is episode 89. Yeah. We're going to do something crazy for the 100th. It'll be here before you know it.
I know. Time's flying.
Yeah, it'll be in 2026, probably March, probably.
Yeah.
We'll have to do something crazy.
Right around my birthday, actually.
You know what we could do? We could do like a live broadcast. We could do it from the store and invite like a studio audience to come by, and we'll have snacks.
Well,
what do you think?
Well, maybe we'll do
healthy snacks.
Of course.
Gluten-free.
Real food.
Yep, real food.
We only like real food.
That's it. We do. We like and
do the fake stuff.
Homegrown, local mom and pops. That's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so stay tuned to the Good Health by Claudia podcast and on the Facebook page, because you just never know what we're going to do, but we have to do something.
Yes.
For the 100.
Yeah.
So anyway, how are you today? You look fantastic as always.
Thank you.
So
do you.
It's the holiday season. A chance to get stressed, but if you've watched some of the other, podcasts, you know what to do to offset that stress.
Right.
Drink heavy alcohol. No, that's not going to help.
Feed your fungus and feed your parasites.
Yeah, might as well.
It's even though everybody does, and
it's holidays for them too.
The first of the year, the team, we all know that everyone's going to come piling in, feeling crummy.
Yeah.
Because everybody's celebrating.
It's crazy though. I'm going through these holidays without drinking.
Beautiful.
I quit the end of September. I'm basically on a dare from a buddy of mine. He's like, "Hey, you want to do sober October with me?" And I said, "No." He goes, "Come on, let's do it. Let's see if we can do it." I'm like, "All right." So I started it and I haven't been back.
Good for you, man. So, I'm proud of you. That's terrific.
I also had total knee replacement, which is why I have the fancy cane here with the, look at that.
Wow, it even has you put a light on it?
It's my neighbor who's had his knees replaced. My old neighbor, Jeff Porter, he says, "Dude, you're going to need this." And he's right. This thing's amazing. So I've been so focused on my rehab of my total knee replacement, doing pain and torture. I'm sorry, physical therapy. Getting the flexibility back. It's been more painful only because I'm working through this one as I wasn't before. But some of the stuff that you have suggested I try have been very helpful.
Good.
So anyway, I don't anticipate that I'm going to do that. I'll probably have to be careful for the holidays on what I eat.
Yeah, it's like the sugar.
It is. I mean, because everybody, let's get together and, and somebody always brings crazy desserts.
Right.
So,
right.
Anyway.
That's why we're going to talk about fungal overgrowth, yeast overgrowth.
Okay.
In this episode, and the next one, we're going to talk about parasites.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about all the critters.
All the critters. Okay. So fungal overgrowth.
Yes.
That just sounds really gross.
Well,
what exactly is that?
So yeast is in the fungal category, and millions of people are yeasty, whether they know it or not.
Okay.
And so it's something that I learned back in fact, I should have brought the book. I've shown it before. Dr. Trowbridge wrote a book in 1986.
Right.
And Joe had just met him and said, "Here, read this book for me." It was a great book. And ever since then, I have shared information about fungal overgrowth for all those years, thousands of people, because I think it's so important. So, when we look at the history of what we've experienced in this culture, with, back in the 60s and 70s, you had more moms going into the workforce. They weren't nursing their babies, and they were doing more soy formulas, which was very sad for the babies, because babies aren't meant to drink soy milk, formula, whatever.
No, it's ridiculous.
But because soy's been around, soy itself goes back to 11th century BC in China, but they were eating it differently. They were, they were doing tofu and miso and tempeh, and they did have soy milk. They boiled, soaked it and ground it up, and then they boiled it. And so it was a soy milk, but it became a big commodity crop in the United States. And over the years, now soy is in a lot of things. And, but at any rate, when those moms back in the 60s and 70s really didn't nurse those babies, I think it, because I've studied food production around the world for years, and there's always more to learn. I always say I'm a student every day. There's so much to learn. But I do believe it was the first time that babies were not nursed. And why is that a problem? Because everything in the milk is to support the health of the newborn right from day one. You have colostrum that comes in for the first 72 hours, and then the flora follows, and the milk is rich with good fats and all these things. So in that colostrum, it's all nutrients that boost the, nourish the brain, nourish the immune system. And of course, that's what the flora does. And over the years, we've learned a lot about flora. So the long story short is, as the flora went down, all the junk food came up. So that's a problem because, we know that there's a guesstimate that average American is eating about 150 pounds of sugar, refined sugar, a year. 150 pounds. I mean, that's atrocious.
And that's why we're fungal?
Well, that's why we're fungal and parasitic and not feeling well. And I mean, listen, I say this and I'll always say it. Sugar is feeding every misery that no one wants.
Right.
Right. And when docs tell people that are dealing with cancer, oh, sugar isn't a problem, eat what you want. Well, a PET scan is radioactive sugar. They put it in because it goes right to the cell, the malignant cell. So sugar is feeding everything no one wants. So it's a problem. But I think it's fair to say sugar is addictive for numerous reasons. What it does on the neurotransmitters, people get a little
Yeah, little
and then
spike.
It dumps them. They get a spike and then it dumps them. But through that, it's whacking out the blood sugar. I mean, in my opinion, nobody should be wondering why millions of Americans have type 2 diabetes. I mean, no one should be wondering why. You can only beat up the pancreas so much, and everyone's beat up their pancreas every day for years. So sugar's an issue. The flora is down, which is a serious problem. We've done a lot of podcasts with Brenda Watson from Vital Planet.
Love her.
Yep. And I brought, a couple of her flora products. But nonetheless, when the good guys are down, the bad guys are up.
Right.
And when Dr. Trowbridge wrote that book back in 1986 called The Yeast Syndrome, it was more technical, but basically that's what he was saying. When the flora is down, you're going to have a problem. And so this is why we actively at the store, I encourage everybody, take your flora every day. People need it because there's decades of people that, if those babies in the 60s and 70s that weren't nursed, when they grew up and the women had their own babies, they didn't have the flora to pass on. So every generation that's why it's going this way and all the junk is going up. So it's a serious problem. So that's why we talk about fungal overgrowth every day at the store. Most people come in and they've been diagnosed with all this stuff. Well, I personally think a lot of what we're dealing with is really an underlying issue of yeast overgrowth. So we've seen amazing things when people go on a yeast-free diet and when we do the supplements that support their immune system.
So what am I eating if it's a yeast-free diet?
What you're eating on a yeast-free diet is protein and veggies. Everything that everybody loves is on the no list. So beer, wine, aged cheese, mushrooms, anything like that is going to feed it. Bread because of the yeast.
Right.
Carbs, they all break down to sugar. We're talking carbs like
so high in protein.
So high protein.
Okay.
And veggies.
Okay.
That's what doesn't feed fungus.
Okay.
Okay. So, or I should say yeast, because there's different types of fungus. Excuse me. But and that's why I love the Eat Right for the Blood type, because over the years, here we're guiding everybody to eat high protein and veggies, because we guided, everybody to do a yeast-free diet. Well, not everybody could handle the high protein. And I would wonder, why is that? Why do we have two people eating the same protocol, high protein, lots of veggies? One feels great. They're losing weight without trying. their whatever, their joint pain's going away, their bowel function is improving, their brain fog is gone, but the other person is getting sluggish. They feel lethargic. Well, once the blood typing book came out,
Right.
and it was like, well, there's the answer. So O's being the hunter gatherers, we've talked about this many times.
That's her.
O's, yeah.
Not me.
We produce high levels of hydrochloric acid, very important digestive enzyme that pumps out in the stomach. We're meant to, the hunter gatherers, they were eating meat. They made a kill. They had to be able to digest it. Then came A which was agriculture. The A blood type.
That's me.
Your stomach, you produce low levels of HCl.
I want to be an O. I like meat.
A lot of people told me that they wish they were an O, but A's do better with chicken, turkey, fish. They're the natural vegetarian,
which I love. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, you give me salmon, I could have salmon 3 days a week. Never have a problem with it.
Yeah. So anyway, it all goes back to the gut, as we always say. It all starts in the gut.
All starts in the gut, people.
Right. So here's what I've learned and again, I'm here to share my experience of 51 years. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I know what I know because I've witnessed it in thousands and thousands of people. So
here's one right here.
And I think experience, especially when we talk about human health and herbology and all these things, you really have to witness it. You have to experience it. These are not just, these products are alive. When you have an herb, it's power packed. It's not just one thing in that plant. There's many, many beneficial components of herbs. When you have a drug, which is an isolated substance, it's just an isolated substance. So there's a big difference in how they're working in the body. So herbs are beautiful because they're so active and they're very important too. So anyway, what we learned over the years is we were guiding all these people. And then in, I believe it was 1998, Tom Bohager, he was the owner of Enzymedica. He came out with this product.
Oh, I take this product.
This is a great product.
It is a great product.
And when I learned about it, it just made sense to me why it was such an important product. There is a biofilm around the fungus, around the yeast. And I always use the analogy, raising 3 boys, a biofilm is like having a spaceship with a shield around it. You got to break down the shield to get to the spaceship. So a biofilm is protecting these critters. Parasites have a biofilm, fungus has a biofilm. So you got to break it down. So initially we were putting people on a lot of wonderful products. Podiarco, did I bring Podiarco? Podiarco is a beautiful herb.
I don't see Podiarco.
Podiarco, right here.
There's
I brought a
Podiarco.
Yeah, Podiarco, very beneficial herb for boosting the immune system, supporting. It really helps in a fungal, when you're on a yeast-free protocol, this product is very important and it works, but it gets to the point. So we would see people on these protocols that they were feeling a little better, but they were still struggling. So when Tom came out with this product, Candidase, it eats away the biofilm. And it just made sense to me. First, you have to break down the biofilm, then everything else can work better.
So you would take these two together?
Well, we start with this.
I'm already on this.
We start this, and then we add in. So now makes a great product. Candida support. Now, in this particular product, This is a whole formula. There's black walnut, there's Podiarco, there's, let's see what's else in here. There's great Podiarco, caprylic acid, black walnut, oregano oil, which I brought. We're going to talk about oregano oil. So I like to start with just the simple breaking down the biofilm. So we start with Candidase, and also another great company. This is family owned, wonderful company, Pure Essence, great company. They were the second to come out with. So we sell a lot of both of them. A lot of customers use these products interchangeably. So the main biofilm, much of the biofilm on a yeast is cellulose. And cellulose, we don't eat trees and all the things, we don't have the digestive enzymes to break down cellulose. This is the enzyme cellulase, which breaks down cellulose. So it literally breaks down the wall. It's a great product. Enzymatica suggests 6 a day. We've learned to start very simple and work up. I don't jump anybody into 6 a day. We learn to, just keep it simple.
I just do 2. That's
Right.
what you told me to do.
Right, but you want to work up to 6.
Oh, I've been on 2 forever. I'm
So
supposed to be
now now you can increase it.
So what do I do? 2 in the morning because it's on an empty stomach.
Empty stomach.
So like 2 in the morning, 2 at night.
Yeah, and then you're working up to 3 and 3. Now, pure Candex, I think, is 4 a day, but because people use them interchangeably, some people do 4 of these, some people do 6 of these. So whichever one you do, they're great products.
Okay.
Empty stomach, start slow, work up. I always say
I'm going
that.
to start going to 3 in the morning
There you
instead
go.
of 2,
Yeah.
and then see
So
the effect there.
So as it weakens that wall, now the immune system can do a better job at getting to it. And there's hundreds of symptoms to fungus. I mean, we've seen all kinds of stuff with fungus. People with brain fog and headaches and joint pain and bowel issues and bloat and gas and all this stuff. Now, there's 3 things that, simply put, there's 3 things that feed fungus. You've got sugar, anything that forms a sugar, antibiotics, which are in the food supply. And then we always, we talk a lot about petrotoxins, man-made estrogen. That's part of what's feeding this. And in Dr. Lee's book, he wrote the book about the importance of progesterone, bioidentical, and the problems with all the petrotoxins that are mimicking synthetic estrogen that we're all being exposed to every single day of our life. And in that book, he says, the estrogenic activity is feeding the fungal issue. And we've seen that over and over and over. So all of that said, changing the diet is very important.
Well, knowing your blood type is pretty darn important.
Yes.
Because you need to know if you're eating the right stuff.
Right.
All these years, I wasn't eating the right stuff. And ever since you turned me onto that book, I don't know how many years ago, 5 years ago, whatever it was.
Whatever it's been.
I've been able to stabilize my weight. I have done with the yo-yo.
Yeah.
I usually go up to 250 and then I get mad at myself and go down to 205 and then creep. No.
Yeah.
I've been 205 to 210 for the last 5 years because I read that book, because I know what, my body breaks down, what it doesn't break down.
Right.
And it doesn't, like, I'm not supposed to have pasta. But, once a month, every couple of months,
right,
I'll get me some chicken Alfredo.
Yeah.
I just will. But I'm not eating, spaghetti and meatballs, which I love. I treat myself to 1 burger a month.
Yeah. And just make sure it's a good grass-fed burger.
Yeah.
It's so, the beauty of natural healing and learning to become mindful of what we eat, it puts us in control.
Right.
Because most people, they're eating stuff all day long, but they're not connecting the dots. So a lot of the symptoms that they're cranking up are literally from what they're doing. They just haven't connected that. So that's why being mindful, connecting the dots, eating a food and paying attention to how we actually feel, it's so important. So,
all right, what else you have?
So, okay, so we talked about the bio, to break down the biofilm. Of course, probiotics and Brenda Watson. She's got a great line.
She does. I've been using her for years.
Yeah.
I mean, using her products, not her. She's a wonderful human, though. We love her.
Yeah. So this is the men over 55. I'll tell you.
Oh, that's me.
This is the only probiotic powder ever that we've ever sold. Probiotic product, I'm sorry, that we've ever sold where men will come back and say, I love this product.
Yeah.
They feel it. They feel better. They also make the woman over 55. Now, they make a whole line. I just grabbed these. So the beauty of these products, they're breaking down deep in the bowel. And then that's why so many people feel them.
Deep.
So, yep. So probiotics, you got to bring up the good guys, bring them up every day. Some people tell me they're listening to podcasts where some people are saying you don't need probiotics and all that.
Who says that?
I don't know who says that. It's like, come on, everybody needs flora, especially these children. And we're seeing the decades of the decline of the American diet in a lot of these children. We've had so many, I always tell people I'm very grateful docs trust us and send us people. And we've had so many babies and small children sent to us with eczema and psoriasis. It's very sad because we never used to see that.
No.
But flora is very important. So get it in your life. It's very important for the immune system, the brain, the digestive system, and the immune system, and the endocrine system. It's like, that's all the important stuff going on. So, all right. So I wanted to show, this is grapefruit seed extract. This is a great product, highly antifungal, some anti-parasitic, but mainly antifungal. A lot of people find that grapefruit seed extract really just helps them feel better, especially when there's a lot of sinusy stuff.
Oh, that's me.
So we have so many customers over the years.
Is this a spray?
This is a liquid. You can put it in water. Put it in water.
Okay.
And you drink it.
Okay.
And then they make tablets.
Okay.
So
or if
grapefruit seed extract is a wonderful product to consider taking. And then, of course, oregano oil. This is oregano, North American Herb and Spice, great company.
I use the drops.
Yep. And this is the capsule, but drops or capsule. I always remind everybody, start low with oregano oil because this is powerful stuff.
It is.
It's antimicrobial, it's anti-parasitic, it's antifungal, antiviral, it's anti everything.
If you take you got to go easy on the drops because it'll go, you put them under your tongue, you're like, whoa.
Right.
I mean, you're taking oregano
potent
oil.
Stuff.
It is because it's a natural antibiotic to the body.
It has natural antibacterial, yes. So
I learned that from you, by the way.
Good work.
Whenever
I appreciate you listening.
Whenever I'm not feeling well, I go right to this.
Yeah,
I do. And I'm just like, so
there's all these beautiful products that we can take and people will come in and say, well, how many do you take? I always say, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Start with one, see how it makes you feel, add something else in. I like to build the protocol like that.
Yeah.
So, and then of course I wanted to go over calcium diglucarate again. I'm a fan.
Me too.
It's a very important product and it's helping to pull some of that estrogenic toxic overload out of the body. That's why this is important. And it filters through the kidneys. And so I always ask people anymore if they have a history of kidney issues, we don't start them right off on this. Or if somebody develops stones, first we work on balancing the pH, excuse me, so they can, we can help the kidneys and then we put them on that. But we have thousands of people on this product. The company will tell you, we've sold probably more as a store. We've sold more, I think, than anybody in the country because when I read the research on that product, I brought it in the next day. I mean, it's a very important product. So between Flora, going after the Candida and doing the deglucarate, that is a team of products that we have really guided thousands of people to because they're all working comfortably together. But I like to start them separately. Start something a week later, add it in, and
start with
another product. Yep. Or the again, Pure Essence, either one of these companies.
Either one of these are good.
Great companies. So it's important to address fungal issues because it's fair to say that most people, I think it's quite epidemic in the United States.
Oh,
I don't know if there's stats on it, but the people walking through our doors, and we have hundreds of people coming through, most people, you put them on a yeast-free diet and get them on these products, they're going to feel better. So this is a very important protocol. That's what I was going to say. After you do either one of these, then the Candida support. This is a nice one because again, it has more stuff in it. So it's working as a team. So you can do things separately.
Would you do this with the candidates at the same time or take it different times?
Well,
would you take it
this
together?
This is with food. This is
okay.
With
So
food.
So this would be all right.
This is with food. This is always empty stomach. Always empty stomach.
That's how I do it.
Yeah.
And this is 2 capsules daily with food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this one's going over to the Den Man pile. Right over there.
I figured, man. So again, there's a lot of information now. A lot of people are podcasting about parasite cleansing and fungal overgrowth, which I think is terrific. We do it a little differently at the store, only because we've been working with all these things. And I always want to remind everybody, all this stuff started in health food stores. It all started in health food stores. The rest of the world is catching on.
Yep.
But those of us working in health food stores, this is the products that we've used for many, many, many years and witnessed thousands of people take these products. So it's a very good thing to do, especially coming into, here's the thing. I encourage people, you could start something like this now. You're better at showing the labels
Candidates.
than me. You could start something like this now, but through the holidays to try to get on a true yeast-free product, it's too difficult. It's too stressful. It causes most people more stress than it. So I tell them, do your probiotics, do the Candidase or the Candex, and then after the holidays, then you really get more invested and involved in doing a full protocol.
Because you're going to have less temptation because of all the parties and all the gatherings and all of that. And you're just going to beat yourself up. And then you're going to go, this stuff doesn't work. No, it does work.
Exactly.
Timing is everything.
Yep.
January is a great time to, boom, start new, start making some better habits.
Yep.
I'm not saying New Year's resolutions because I think those are BS. Just make changes.
Just make baby. We always talk about, right? Baby step changes.
Little
Just do it
tiny baby
every
steps.
day. Put your heart into it.
Yeah.
Wrap your heart around your own health, because it's nobody wants to be sick. I always say, raise your hand if you want to be sick. I've been saying it for years. And in all these years, how many people you think ever raised their hand?
No one.
Exactly. And no one ever will.
No.
So it's up to us to invest in ourselves, invest in our own health. And it just changes life.
Stop into the store, people. And share this podcast too, by the way.
Yeah.
Because it's very important.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Well, I mean, there's a lot we could talk about, but I think that's enough info for right now.
Great info.
Because a lot of the feedback we're getting is that we're not talking over people's heads. Right. We're not throwing so much technical stuff at them that they don't know what to do with it. That's why I always say, keep it simple. And that's why when people come in the store, we don't put them on 20 things at one time. There's no point in that. It's important that natural health it starts with the individual. And those of us that do what we do, we're here to guide, but it comes down to the dedication of the individual to themselves. So just do it in baby steps, walk it every day, believe it, put your heart. I always say, put your heart into it. It makes a big difference.
It does.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for episode number 89. So again, please share. Come back next Tuesday.
Yep.
And like always, Claudia, I'm giving you the last word.
Well, it's the holidays are a beautiful time. But many people, there's can be stressful for people. So I always say, be gentle with yourself and everybody else, because you never know the path that somebody is walking. And a lot of people are walking their life every day. They're wounded in many ways, and giving a kindness, giving a smile, giving a hug. This is what changes life, in my opinion. This is what it's all about. Of course, we have a season for it, but my prayer is that people learn to do it all year long. So put a little twinkle in your heart and share it with others. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Embrace your health, and we appreciate you, and peace.